Okay, right. Where shall we go? Where shall we go to, my lovely, when you're alone in your bed? Right, so, lines. What should we do today then? We started doing, last time we did some stuff. We did some stuff with wearable items like armor and weapons. We started doing a little bit of commentary on that. So we could do more lines on that. Some more sort of weapon armor commentary, unless you guys have more suggestions and things. Hello, Fish Fiend! Nice of you to drop by. Hope you're doing well. And that your busy day today is also going very well. Sending best wishes to the Fish Fiend. Dee-dee-dab-doo. Childhood stories. I want to know about his life more. How do I work those into it? Anyone else having a really bad connection? I don't think there are any connections issues on my end today, I'm afraid. I think it must be on your end. Sorry. Your internet connection must be struggling a bit. Because when it's on my end, the whole stream tends to die for everyone, and it seems to be doing fine on my stream manager on my laptop here. Ah, Ace says Bone Wolf is free on the Creation Club right now. Do check that out, you folks on Skyrim SE, because Lucien has commentary for it. Do you think his personality would be different if he followed his mother's path and not his father's? He hasn't necessarily followed either path. He's taken a similar route to his father in that he's gone into academic sort of things. So yeah, I guess if he became a soldier, that would be a completely different character. Yeah, if he was a soldier like his mother, he would be an entirely different person. But I like to think he's got elements of both his mother and his father in him. Do, do, do. Everything. Stories about his childhood, though, and about his past. Did I see the next round of creations are due out this year? No, I didn't. I haven't seen any news about the Creation Club since the pandemic started. Have they done an announcement then? I'm afraid trying to make Lucien dynamically eat food items in the world would be an awfully tricky thing to do. So that's a bit beyond the sort of thing we're trying to do today. I'm just trying to think of sort of childhood stories Lucien could randomly come up with and when it might be an appropriate time for him to say them. Anything. How would we do that? Did he ever check out the ruins under the Imperial City? I'm not sure. Haven't decided. See, there's so many of these things I haven't actually decided about Lucien's past, and there's some aspects of it that I don't want to talk about sort of here, because I want to explore them more in different media in the future. But it's not like he's hiding a massive secret. Is Lucien an only child? Yes, he is. That's one of the things he'll tell you in-game from the quite early on in your relationship with him. Yeah, that's an idea, but maybe I could do something with that. So this would be an idol. Now, I'm pretty sure Lucien already has idols about the Arcanium. Question is, where did I put them? This line you probably haven't heard very often, because this only plays when both you and Lucien are sitting in an inn or a player home. Which is, when I was a student, we used to sit in places like this after lectures and talk about the nature of time. Oh, did we have some great arguments. What did Lucien want to see in the Elder Scroll? Now, that would be telling. Maybe I put them all in the College of Winterhold quest line. Oh no, hang on. Here we are. These are a couple of lines about the college. Yeah, let's pop it here. Oh no, here we are. That's his Arcanian line. Think how much knowledge is sitting on these shelves just waiting to be let read. Let's copy those conditions. Lucien did mention how he could just about swing a sword. Did his mother attempt to teach him? Yes, his mother, all the combat skills Lucien has when you meet him, which admittedly are quite few, he got from his mother. Who thought, obviously, it was very important that he was able to at least basically defend himself. Because he does rather have a habit of putting his foot in it. Somewhat. With people, sometimes. He's not 100% socially aware. And sometimes, yeah, he can... Oh, thanks for the bits, words. Yeah, sometimes he can have problems. And that can result in people punching him. So, yeah, it is important that he has the ability to defend himself. That was Lyra's thinking, anyway. Can he recognise and thus comment on the Aurora? I don't know how I would detect the Aurora. Especially if the player uses weather mods or anything like that. There might be a way. I can look it up. There once was a hero named Inigo the Brave, whose arrows from his enemies' hearts never strayed. Yeah, I'm not doing intermod interactions today, but I'm always a fan of songs like that. Can Lucien comment about stolen items in the inventory? Again, I don't know how I would detect that. There might be a condition for stolen items. I'm not sure. What about a story about him and his father arguing? Maybe we could do something with that. Thank you for the bits, Vickle. Might sneeze. Backfired. That was weird. Okay. Bum 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 bum. Why did I have a get stage JR Lucien? Thank you for the bits. Thank you for the blessings. Why did I do a get stage on the Winterhold quest line for him to comment on the Arcanium? He doesn't need that. He just needs to be in the Arcanium. We need get random % less than 1. Is not sneaking. That'll do. And it's Lucien talking. And we'll put a random end to indicate that I haven't voiced this one yet. Aren't stolen items tagged by the game? They are tagged by the game. The question is, is there a condition for dialogue, like one of these get his ID, get in cell, is sneaking, etc.? Is there a get stolen items count or something? There may be, but I'm not sure. Does Lucien have a favourite school of magic? Yeah, he does. Well, obviously he uses destruction a lot, practically in game. But in terms of the real world, like of the lore, I would say he's more into restoration, because I think that's more benevolent inherently. It's inherently nice magic. Okay, so I used to come to libraries with my father when I was little. Libraries. This, my father, when I was little. Sometimes he'd perch me on a shelf to look down on all the books below. Happy times. More chat to catch up with. Gosh, you guys are talkative. Can Lucien have a limit of what he's willing to hold? I highly doubt he'd hold human hearts or giant toes. He will hold those because they're of academic alchemical interest, but he does have at least one item I can think of off the top of my head that he won't hold already. Does he have dialogue when we steal or lockpick houses? No. How do you steal a house? No, when you steal or lockpick houses. No, because I'm going to do a whole Thieves Guild thing a bit later on as a whole thing on its own. Novablade agrees with me. Good stuff. Hey, Joseph, I saw the follow-up patch for Legacy was released, but then taken down due to you having different plans for Lucy. What exactly does that mean? I was super curious. I've always planned on doing a interaction patch between Lucien and Legacy of the Dragonborn. Like an official one has always been the plan, and I'd like to do that at some stage. Rather than having a third-party one. But that patch specifically had to be taken down because it was displaying a lot of... so at the moment, Lucien has a lot of unfinished content in the mod, which is going to play into his next quest coming up. And there's a few artifacts in there that you can't access in-game that are part of the upcoming mod. And that patch that came out for Legacy made a point of displaying those unfinished items that I don't actually want people really looking at. You can find them if you hunt for them in the console, but I wouldn't really want them to be on display, so I asked for him to take it down because of those spoiler issues. And then also there's the fundamental issue of Lucien having a room, which encourages you to assign, to use a mod like My Home is Your Home or something to assign that room for Lucien to live in. Which obviously causes issues with Lucien's AI and brain, and in particular breaks his first personal quest if you do that. So those factors kind of added together, I agreed with the author that it was probably a good idea to just take that patch down, and we'll look at doing an official Legacy interaction a bit later on. Does he comment on the Thalmor Embassy? Yes, he does. He has commentary for that quest line. Yeah, I can have a look at the weather type and see whether the Aurora has one that is going to be valid for both modded and vanilla setups. Does Lucien have custom dialogue for killing Draugr with Dawnbreaker as Inigo does? He has custom dialogue for using Dawnbreaker, not specific custom dialogue for killing Draugr with Dawnbreaker, and I wouldn't want to necessarily copy that from Inigo. So we can certainly look at more specific things like that, but I probably wouldn't want to just copy the same interactions. There's a new quest. Yes, Lucien has a third personal quest coming up in a future update. I was hoping to have it ready by the end of the year. I don't know if I'll quite hit that deadline now, but it is planned for the future. There's a new quest and a new dungeon, also made by Jay Crotchmel, who made Dark End and Doomsbathar. There's a new dungeon made by him, which is actually in the mod already, but I wouldn't go to it if I were you, if you do manage to go to it, because it's, it's unfinished and might well break things in your save later on. But there's stuff coming, yeah. Almost like this year has been a bit crazy. I don't know what you mean. Lum bum bum. Flinky dink ning nong nong nong. I probably fall asleep. I happened to fall asleep at 7 PM after a 9-hour day of uni, then woke up and it just happened to be streaming. It's 4 AM now and I'm a sleepy lady. Yeah, well, it's very nice of you to join, but yes, please go back to sleep if you're sleepy. Yeah, basically, I need to make sure that there isn't going to be a situation where Lucien could go, oh gosh, look at that aurora, and it's just a cloudy night and there's nothing there. So if I can make sure that that's not going to be a thing, then yeah, I can implement some kind of commentary on it. Oh, that's nice to hear, Ace. Macon posted a doodle in the Discord. There's a doodle in the Discord, what are we gonna do? There's a doodle in the Discord, what are we gonna do? There's a doodle in the Discord, what are we gonna do? There's a doodle in the Discord, what are we gonna do? A doodle, 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 a doodle in the Discord. Doodle in the Discord, doodle in the Discord, doodle in the Discord. MS Paint, doodle in the Discord, in the Discord. I'm just looking it up. Does he comment on weather? Yes, he has several comments to make on weather, on rain and sunshine and snow. Blizzards and things. When will the name detection stuff come out? It's just an estimate. So there already is name detection stuff in there, but if you mean specifically when will the next update, when will all the new custom names come out, and when will that stuff come out on Xbox, that'll be in the next update, which I'm hoping to have ready by the end of this month. I can't promise it, because, as I say, massively, hectically busy just at the moment. But I would like to have it ready by the end of the month. Where's the doodle in the Discord? You said there was a doodle in the Discord. Where am I looking? Oh, in fan art, I bet. There we go. Found it. Let me show everyone. Here's the doodle. Do you do poison? No poison. That's the voice I've just given your OC there for no reason at all. Hello. I'm Mazikin's OC. No poison. Very cool. I love it. Thanks for sharing. Right. Right, okay, modding. Modding. Xbox can do custom names now. Not yet! The custom names for Xbox are coming in the next update, in version 1.6.0. I've implemented a new dialogue-based system in addition to the MCM, so you'll be able to talk to Lucien and say, please call me X. And then he'll call you X. Can Lucien comment on the player changing the face? No, and the reason for that is that, yes, I can identify if you have just changed your face, but I can't identify the extent to which you changed your face. So if you open up the face sculptor, and then you just slightly tweak your character's nose, then when you exit that, Lucien might go, gosh, you look so different, which obviously wouldn't make any sense. But then again, if you open it and you massively change your face, you know, Lucien's got to comment on it, but I've got no way of detecting the extent to which you did it, so I'd always rather have no dialogue at all than potentially unimmersive dialogue, if that makes sense. Because it's much easier to break immersion than it is to create it. Yes, I saw that, Azure Dominion. I saw you said that before. The Aurora would be a weather type, so I would have to check that. Yes, I'd have to look into. I want to have a look into it to make sure that it all works. But yes, I would like to do some kind of comment on that. But I would like to do a little bit of research first, just to make sure it's 100% not going to cause any problems. Take a deep breath and sniff that. Books. Glorious books. I love it. Thanks, Yellow Ego Cat. I try and address them all. I'm sorry, I do miss some because I know they come through very quickly in the chat and it's hard to keep up. And I'm sorry to keep shooting so many of them down. I just have to try and be sensible with it, I think. Do. If I had Lucien comment on weddings, I would want to have my own Kaiden patch, I think. I think that we would host a compatibility patch directly on Lucien's page for any compatibility stuff that needs doing. I'd much rather do that and keep it all under one roof than have people go to different pages for it. But your help would be wonderful with that if you're offering. Lucien in the Arcadium is me in a library. I should have said bibliotech, yeah. How about if you give him heavy armor if you haven't trained him at all? Like you comment about it being too heavy, too big for him. Yes, that's a good idea. I can do something with that. Possibly. How do I detect if he is wearing heavy armor? I could scattergun like some ores for iron armor and steel armor and stuff. Yeah, scattergun some different options. Do a comment on that. That works. I like that. Will Lucien have a spoilery Easter egg comments in a new version? What do you mean spoilery Easter egg? What happened 5 minutes ago? Probably nothing, Imagination Gamer, because I'm very slow and most of this is just nonsense, just me prattling to the camera. So, probably nothing interesting. Do I have a list of the names Lucien recognizes? Yeah, you'll find a list of the names Lucien currently recognizes on my website. And then there's a work in progress list of the names. Well, I've got one here I guess I could share. If you give me a minute to find it. It's not 100% up to date yet because I still need to add the latest requests that come through. Bum bum. Yellow Eagle Hat says, "Oh, you mean surprise dialogue you don't want to spoil right now?" Yes, there's plenty of stuff in the new update that you guys don't know about, that you haven't seen in advance, that I hope will entertain you when you get to hear it. Things to look forward to for sure. You know, it's nice not to reveal absolutely everything in streams beforehand, because otherwise you just know exactly what's happening. Her. Out the way, tiny Lucien. Here's the list. Okay, this one is slightly out of date, but it should be more helpful. Hang on. So this is the list of, this is a list with most of the names. It hasn't got the very, very newest ones. But, so the new names that are coming are, they start here with Adiel. So Adiel, Draconis, Illyria, Amifrey, Angund, Ari, Belladonna, Kevin, Enora, Havle, Yalmi, Kisara, Komora, Lisa, Michaela, Mikhail, Nicodemus, Raven, Reptar, Rune, Soki, Volanaire, Victoria, Ilva, Aoife, Liana, V, Svea, Janus, Sakesh, Zinnia, and Vesha or Visha. I need to check the pronunciation for that. Pronunciation. I always say pronunciation, and that's wrong. Pronunciation. I need to check that one. But yeah, those are all the names that you guys can expect that are coming in the next version. And then there are updates for all the existing names that are still being supported by Patreon supporters. They get a new line for every month that the person who was supporting it has remained a patron. So there'll be loads more dialogue for the existing names in there as well. Watcher says, "Hey Joseph, are you looking forward to Cyberpunk 2077 like I am?" I know nothing about it. I know absolutely nothing about it. So I know nothing. I'm afraid I can't really comment. Do I play when I'm doing Among Us? Do we play with or without voice chat? Without voice chat so far, because it's a lot easier to keep control kind of the stream and make sure that there's no swearing or anything like that. But I would like to look into doing voice chat with a selected sort of trusted group at some stage. But it's a bit more involved to set up. Can Lucien comment on shrines or being in the temple? I believe he does have a couple of lines about those things. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed that, Kinkanook. Does Lucien comment about other households, not only Lydia? No, just Lydia so far, I think. What was his family doing during the Oblivion Crisis? I don't actually know. I'm sure there was a Flavius running around doing something important in the Oblivion Crisis. Obviously, his parents weren't alive at the time. I don't think. How long ago was the Oblivion Crisis? It was a couple of 100 years, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. A couple of 100 years. So, no, Lucien's parents obviously wouldn't have been born, so Flavius's would have been around doing something exciting. I like to think the champion of Cyrodiil may have encountered a Flavius at some point, been on an adventure or two with them. But I don't know, there's nothing canonical there yet. Hey, PokerGamer69, that's nice. Hello, thank you very much. Glad you love the mod. Yes, so Davidicus is Lucien's father. That's Davidicus Flavius. And their ancestor is Octavius Flavius. So Davidicus is the direct descendant of Octavius. And Lucien is the son of Davidicus. So the Flavius has come down through his father's side. Yes, absolutely. Do 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 do. Sorry, one sec. Cool. Right. Bum 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 bum. Right, more lines. We've done one line, and it's already 6:15. Hey, Carol Danazy. Welcome to the stream. Hope your college stuff is going well. What's Lyra's maiden name, or does she have one? I have not decided at this stage, but I'll be sure to put it in a story at some point if I do think of one. Can Lucien comment about the player cooking something? Yeah, we could do something with that. I couldn't detect if you just looted clothing from a body, but you can hear Lucien's opinions about looting from bodies in the Lucien the Dragonborn Let's Play series on YouTube, which you may or may not have checked out, I don't know. But yeah, I've got a whole series on YouTube, 21 episodes of Lucien as the Dragonborn, and you can hear his opinions on all sorts of things that you can't hear in the game, like the Forgotten City questline, and looting dead bodies and lockpicking, being the Dragonborn himself, all sorts of stuff. Does Lucien currently comment on the lack of clothes you wear? Yes, he does. He has a couple of lines about that we added in the last update. Can Lucien comment at least the first impression about different shouts? Yeah, we can do something about different shouts. And we can definitely do stuff about you interacting with things like smithy things, etc. Hello, Samantha199821. Welcome to the stream. Okay, what was I doing? I keep doing so many different things at once. Right. The suggestion was about heavy armor. Having some kind of commentary about that, about complaining, which we can definitely do. Let me just try and find... Here we are. These were some of the armor lines we started doing last time. Yeah, it won't be the next big update necessarily. It will be in a future update. Hopefully soon. Potentially at the end of this year or the start of next year. I don't know. When it's ready, there'll be another quest in there. It might not necessarily... It won't be in the next update. It will not be in Lucien version 1.6.0. But it might well be in Lucien version 1.7.0, possibly. But there'll be a trailer before then. So you'll know about it. It won't be a surprise. You'll know it's coming. Because there'll be a trailer like the launch trailer. Explaining the story of the new quest. Not that you'll need to watch that to understand the quest, you know, but like to give you a sort of taste of what's coming. Actually, if we just go back on that. And we want Lucien.getEquipped. And we can do Dragon Plate. Without wanting to spoil anything, because I don't want to spoil the story of the new quest, but if you wanted to get a sense of the full story of like everything to do with Lucien and how everything ties in together, you might be interested, you know, if you just want to fully understand all the references and Easter eggs and everything in the third quest and in the rest of Lucien, you might be interested in checking out the Let's Play series on YouTube. That's Lucien the Dragonborn. And potentially, and again I stress this is kind of very optional, but you might also want to check out Lonely Worlds, which is my novella, because they it's all canonical. All the stories I write tie in with each other in various ways. And without wanting to spoil stuff necessarily, and as I stress, again, it's definitely not required reading, but if you had read this when the third quest comes out, you might, you know, get a little bit of extra appreciation for some of the nods and Easter eggs and things. And similarly, if you've watched Lucien the Dragonborn, that might pay off for you as well in certain ways. Just to give you a bit of advance warning, you know, well, not warning, but, you know, just advanced knowledge, so you guys who are really interested know what sort of thing is worth checking out. Moon Queen Jess says, I'm making a follow with your tutorial and having two issues. First is that lip sync isn't happening when I put in dialogue. Moon Queen Jess, regarding the first issue of your lip sync not happening, did you follow the part 0 of the tutorial series where I showed you how to implement creation kit fixes? That's if you're on the SE creation kit. If you're on the LE creation kit, that's different. But are you on the 64-bit creation kit for SE or on the classic Skyrim 32-bit creation kit? Anxious say, speaking of the Let's Play, you said you're planning on more eventually. Yes. Yes, there's a Season 2 planned. Season 2 will be coming. I've shifted my priorities slightly to focus on Lucien version 1.6.0 and on the tutorial series at the moment, because both of those are doing a good job of promoting my channel on their own. Kind of, so when I come to doing Lucien version, Lucien the Dragonborn Season 2, I'd like there to be a bit more of an audience for it than we had for Season 1. So I thought it was better for my channel to kind of build up the audience a bit first before releasing Season 2, so then there's more people there to watch Season 2 as that starts to come out. Thanks, Vickle, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thanks, Words, I hope you enjoy it. No, there's no need to take it into mod making on my Discord. The whole point of these modding workshops is for you guys to tune in and ask me about stuff. This is exactly why I run these modding workshops, is for you guys to ask all your modding questions. So please feel free to ask questions here. Thanks, Yummy Millennium. Glad you liked it. No, there's not necessarily anything wrong with the pop-up for replacing files not popping up. That will pop up if you have any previous version of the files there, but if you don't, it wouldn't necessarily need to pop up. But I would double check that you followed all the steps for the installation of the creation, of the creation kit fix. I would double check that you followed all those steps correctly. And then the way to generate lip files, if you have followed all those steps correctly, is you record your dialogue in whatever software you want to record it in, and then you make sure your dialogue is in the correct file path, which is listed here, which is data/sound/voice/Lucien/ESP, or whatever ESP yours is, whatever voice type it says here, and then put it in that file path, and copy the file name and rename it as that, and then you'll open up your file, and you'll click on it there, and you'll click from WAV, and you'll click generate lip file, and that will generate the lip file, the lip sync for your line. If you're clicking generate lip file and that line is not generating lip sync and no lip file is appearing, there's a number of reasons why that could be. Number one would be to check, you want to check, really, all the things can be fixed by checking that you're following the correct settings that I specify in part 3 of the tutorial series. I will tell you all the settings you need to have on Audacity for recording. And if you forget to record your track in mono, or you forget to do it in the correct bitrate or the correct frequency, you'll find it will refuse to generate a lip file for you. So do double check that if it's not generating lips. Yeah, Nuna's exactly right about the Bleak Falls word wall. Yes, if you want to see me record dialogue, you can have a look at part 3 of my tutorial series, Yummy Millennium, of how to make a follower mod like Lucien Flavius. You can see it there. You can see my entire, and you can also watch my recording dialogue. I've got a behind-the-scenes spotlight showing you my whole dialogue recording process for Lucien, and I've got a tutorial for how you can record your own dialogue, and both of those will tell you how I use Audacity and my entire process for recording. Can Lucien read Daedric? I don't know. I don't know enough about Daedric. If it's something that people can commonly read, then probably. Can Lucien comment about being afraid of heights, etc.? I cannot detect when Lucien is high up, I'm afraid. I have no way of detecting that. Or rather, I can detect his physical height in the game world, but I have no way of detecting whether or not he's currently standing on a cliff or a mountain or anything like that. Nope, the mic won't be the issue causing the lack of lip sync. When you say lack of lip sync, are you saying the lip files are not generating? Are you saying that you look in your folder and when you click generate lip file, no lip file is appearing in that file path? My word, this armor is heavy. Don't know how anyone manages to move quickly in this stuff. That'll do. And what we're going to do is we're going to do an ore stack here of all the different kinds of heavy armor, or at least a selection of them, which is going to be armor, iron banded cuirass. That will do. Armor, iron, cuirass. Is it pronounced cuirass? I don't know if it's pronounced like that or not. Cuirass. Cuirass. Like chorus. Ba-da-ba-ba-bum-bum. Do-do-do-do-do. Each time I try to click the generate lip, it isn't coloured in much as yours currently appears. I've followed all the other steps, but lip sync is my only facial issue. If I can't fix that part, I'm not that bothered as my bard follower is for personal use. Every time I try to click the generate lip, it isn't coloured in as much as yours currently appears. Thanks for the bits, Vickle. So it's here, right? And you're saying generate lip is grayed out? So you're trying to click it and it's grayed out? Is that what you're saying? So it looks like this. So that says Y, that says Y, that one says N, because there's no existing lip file. And generate lip is grayed out. So if generate lip is grayed out, have you tried clicking here where it says from WAV? So if you click that and click there, and then if the audio file is there, it will turn coloured. And you've definitely checked that your WAV files are in the correct place, so it says Y, and they're recorded in mono at the correct bit rate. This, I believe it's 16-bit, and the correct frequency, which I believe is 44.1 kilohertz. You're definitely sure that all those things are true. And you've correctly installed the lip sync fix through the creation kit fixes. And you've conditioned the lines so that it'll only play for your NPC. So you can do that with getIsID. If you've got a getIsID condition to make sure there's only one line here and that line is for your specific voice type. Well, in that case, I'm afraid I'm out of ideas, really. If you do all of that, it should work. So I'm not quite sure. When you followed the the installation process for the lip sync, you know, for the creation kit fixes. Did you remember to get that that lip sync? I think it's TDF, CDF file. You know, the file that you need to get from Skyrim Classic Edition or from Fallout 4 or whatever. phonicsdata.cdf. Did you remember to get that and put it in the right place as specified in the tutorial? Because if you've not got that, it won't work. Yeah, just like Walking Existential Dread says. Didn't have phonics data in the right folder, even though I thought I had. Then I'm afraid I'm not sure. Sorry, those are all the thoughts I've got for why it wouldn't necessarily work. Beyond that, I don't really know. It might be worth asking, if you're still struggling with it, and you've definitely made sure all those things are true, it might be worth asking on the Nexus Mods forums, or alternatively on the Bethesda.net forums, or in the Nexus Mods Discord. Potentially Dark Fox's Discord is another good place to ask as well. You can have a look in any of those places and try and see if anyone else has got any suggestions for things that I've not thought of that you might be able to try. You can have a look at those. Sorry I can't be more help than that. I just can't think of anything else off the top of my head that would mean this wouldn't let you generate lip files. Yay for petting the dog, Nuna! Right. So that covers iron, dragon plate, steel cuirass A and B. And we'll do one more. We'll do... Not the Dwarven armor. Because the Dwarven armor is different and unique. And not the Daedric armor again, because that's different and unique. Yeah, that'll do. Oh no, the Dragonbone one though. DLC O... Didn't Dragonbone come from DLC? Or did it not? Dragonbone, or was it just Dragonbone weapons that came from DLC? Armor, dragon... See, there's dragon plate, but I thought dragon scale... Armor, dragon scale? Because dragon scale and dragon bone are different armors, right? Ah, dragon scale. Are they both heavy? Scale is light armor. Good shout, we won't have that one then. There we go, that'll do. Thank you, friends. Would you lie with me and just forget the world? Okay, armor. Oh, and we wanted also there to check that his heavy armor training was sufficiently low. So get AV, get actor value. Heavy armor is less than... Let's go with 30. 35? 30. Let's go with 30. If I lay here... Right, what were the other suggestions that we had coming through before? There were several good ones that came through further back. Let me try and remind myself what they were. Oh, I liked the one about player cooking. How am I going to detect that? I know it can be done. Let's have a look. Skyrim creation kit. Don't suppose is cooking? It was just the wild punt. Probably not. Furniture type. It's going to be probably. Using furniture type? I know what we'll do. We'll go Skyrim, creation kit conditions. See you, Vickle. Have a nice lunch. Thanks for the bits. You're very kind. Right. Furniture. Is furniture anim type? That might do the job. No. Okay. That's not got any information about how that one works. Is current furniture obj? Returns 1 if an NPC is sitting on a furniture reference of the specified furniture type. Also, is current furniture ref? Returns 1 if this NPC is sitting on this specific furniture reference. Right, so if I go is current furniture obj, that might do the trick. Let me, though, I know what I'll do. I'll have a look at Inigo's implementation for it to make sure that I'm using a good implementation. So let's try that. Let's fire up SSE edit and see what we can learn from Inigo. Because if Gary did it, it's usually a good idea. Slightly selfish request, but I was wondering if you've seen the Clive onesie I made for Plushie, and yes, it's adorable. I did see that in Discord. Sorry, I've been quite busy today. But I did see that, and it's very cute. Right, so this is going to be... It's going to be an idle, I expect. Okay. Is current furniture... so these are the different thrones you can sit in. So he's done it with that there. You can give my friend that change. Yeah, he's done it with these specific thrones. My friend is making potions and Langley is cooking. He's gone for that one specific furniture object again. But I want to see a general one that will work for everything. Okay. So I just want to see... No, again, this is a specific chair. I want to know how he does it for general things. No, again, is current a very specific one. He always uses is current furniture obj. Oh no, this is it. Yes, so obj rather than ref. I'm a fool. I'm a fool. He is using this one. This is what it is. Never mind. Great. Okay, so he uses is current, and these are different kinds of pickaxe object reference. Okay, so this does work, so we can use this. Cool. Cool beans. Very good, very good, very good. Bum bum ba-dum. Where should we put this one? Hello, Enderscram. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. So, that smells delicious. And for that, we're going to use get is ID JR Lucien. let's go with is in interior equals 1. No, let's not bother with that. Sneaking is 0, of course. Get random percent, we want to be low, so less than 1 is fine, I think, for this one. And we were going to use, what was the word? It was is current furniture obj. Run on player. Is current furniture obj. And what are our options? Heckaroo, there's lots. Okay, cook. Nope. What are they called? What are the fire cooking fire thingamawhat's it's called? Crafting cooking fire spit. Crafting cooking pot invisible. Crafting pot. Okay, so we want some of these. Fire spit. Duplicate. Not invisible. LG? What's LG? Don't know. SM? Don't know. Oh, large and small. That's probably what it is. Large and small ones. Okay, what else have we got? Small with no handle. I'm sure that's fine. Yeah, that'll do. We're sorted. Jobs are good 'un. And then I need to remember to set this last one in the stack to and rather than or to end the random stack. Use the baking oven for half fire. Maybe we can ask you to make him a sweet roll. Yes, that's a good idea. Let's just do a few different ones for the cooking first. I wish I could cook. I tried to boil potatoes once and set fire to my shoes. Not my finest hour. Yeah, that's a really good idea, Azure Dominion. The problem with that is setting up training scenes is really difficult. So not something I'm going to try and do on a stream. But it is a really good idea in principle. It just takes ages. Now, I like the idea that Lucien has read all the theory about cooking. He's read all the books about it in the world, but he still can't do it practically because he's not infinitely powerful, right? I know he might seem like it sometimes. But he can't just do anything. He has his limits, and cooking is definitely one of his limits. During conjuration training, he summoned something that grabbed him. What was it? That is up to you to interpret. Macon, so my mum is coding and she's learning about Python that my brain thought about Pythagoras and what I said was Pythuncorus. Wow. That is some good wording you've got going there. Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty, oh valley of plenty, oh. Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty. Da-na-na-na. It's another one I want to learn on guitar at some point, but it's very difficult. What else can he say about cooking? Ah, Tiny Lucien had a sweet roll. He eat a sweet roll, he do a cute. Thanks, Ender Scram. I love that, Kelly. Toss a coin. No. Toss a coin to your Twitcher. A friend of humanity. Very difficult to do the falsetto bit. Can't really manage it, but I don't let that stop me. Yes, he does sing a Witcher reference. He does toss a coin to your hero, O Valley of Whiterun. Yeah, that was a fun surprise I threw in last time. He sings that in Whiterun. Well, if you're in Whiterun Hold and you're out and about, Lucien has a very low probability chance to sing toss a coin to your hero, O Valley of Whiterun, O Valley of Whiterun, oh. Just as a little thing, literally just like that. So you've heard it now, so you don't need to hear it in game. But yeah, it's just a low probability Easter egg fun thing. Do 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 do. Tell you what, let's. Yeah, I like that yellow ego cat. Maybe how can I work with that? What? Let's share the responsibility. You do the cooking. I'll do the eating. Sound fair? Splendid. That's nice of you to say, Moon Queen Jess. Glad you like the singing. Right, let's do one about baking. Oh yeah, that's what I call an earworm. Yes, he does say that. I'd forgotten that. I'm afraid I'm not one of those people with the ability to do heavy metal singing. No, sorry. Cannot do the screamy, but I can do the singy. Bake sweet rolls. Sweet rolls. What? No. I didn't say anything. Must have been the voice of destiny. Better obey. So let's try and find... This will be DLC 02? Or is it just DLC 2? I love the way they switch between 01 and 2 and 02. DLC 2, crafting... No. No, DLC 2 is Dragonborn. So, what's Hearthfire? DLC 3? DLC 03? DLC HF? Oh, it's not loaded as a master. I don't think we've got Hearthfire loaded as a master at the moment. Let's fix that. Hang on. Hang on. Hold your horses. Wait 1 carton pickin' minute. Give me a second. Thank you, Gelidity. And hi, Gelidity, by the way. Welcome to the stream. Let me just fire up, reload the thingamawhatsit. Only this time with Hearthfire as a master file. Yeah, makes sense. Build your own home. Fatal error. The creation kit encountered a fatal error and has crashed. Right, let's try that again. It's fine, we didn't lose anything. Okie pokey. Hearthfires.es Skyrim update Dragonborn Dawnguard Hearthfire. I love the way they call the file Hearthfires, but the DLC was Hearthfire. That's a lovely example of Bethesda inconsistency. That is so traditional. Right, let's try it again, see if it breaks. To be fair, the creation kit doesn't really crash very often if you're on the 64-bit version with Nukem's CK fixes. It very, very rarely crashes, if at all. This is maybe the 3rd crash that I've ever had with the creation kit 64-bit. That might be exaggerating, maybe the 5th. But it's not very often at all that it crashes. If you don't mind my asking, have you done compatibility or plan to do compatibility for Legacy of the Dragonborn? Yes, I talked about this about an hour ago on the stream. Yes, that's planned. Right, let's bring up the thing again and then switch the camera back across. That is true. The creation kit can't crash if you don't use it. Hey Joseph, can you sing Didn't Know You by Carmen? I'm afraid I don't know it at all. I've never heard of that song, so I probably couldn't sing it. Or I just realised I've got all the reward requests still disabled. I'll enable Make Me Sing if you guys want to request a song at some point, that's fine. And shout out, you can have that. Timeout, you can have that. Emote only chat, you can have that. You can't have glasses off because I can't mod with glasses off. You can't have lights off because I can't mod in the dark. You can't have roleplay as Lucien or talk like a pirate or change game. But you can have Make Me Sing. There you go. Forgotten City is designed to be played solo, not with followers. So I'll be respecting the author's original intentions with that. And not... and wouldn't be doing interactions for it. But if you want to see what Lucien thinks of the Forgotten City, as I say, you can check out my Let's Play series on YouTube, where Lucien plays through the entire Forgotten City questline, and drama happens that you might not expect, even if you are familiar with the Forgotten City. So yeah, do check out that series if you're interested. I think it starts around episode... Someone could probably be more accurate with this. I feel like it's around episode 16. I think it's like the last 6 episodes that are Forgotten City of season 1. But you know, it builds on story threads all through the series, so I would watch the whole thing if you're going to, you know, if you only have a certain amount of time, then that's where it starts. Why are you afraid to catch up, Enderscram? Thanks for the request. I'm not nearly ready to perform that at this stage. I'm still very much practicing the guitar. I will play for you guys on stream at some point in the future. That's exactly why I'm learning. But I'm very keen to actually get to a point where I'm happy with it first before I'd be comfortable playing it on the internet. I did try and play along the country roads once before, and it was a disaster, so we're not doing that again. But we will do it. I will play guitar on stream in the future, but not today. So where were we? We're under JR Lucien follower. Can Lucien play a guitar? Well, one of the reasons I'm learning the guitar is that so Lucien will be able to play the lute in-game, because I would like him to play along to the songs that he sings. So in the future, I would like him to be able to... Well, I'll just play the guitar and record that, and we can pretend it's a lute, because no one's really going to know. Suspend your disbelief. Can Lucien play a musical instrument? Yes, I just answered that one, I think. So I assume that's because of the lag in the chat. Unless you didn't hear. Here, I'll refund you those points for that request. There you go, you should have them back now. Right, so if we now go to... Nope. I swear I put them... Ah, here we are. I'm sorry, I haven't checked that one out yet, Check. I know you suggested it before, I haven't had a look, but you won't always look on the bright side of life. Some things in life are bad. They can really make you mad. Other things just make you swear and curse. When you're chewing on life's gristle, don't grumble, give a whistle. And this'll help things turn out for the best. And always look on the bright side of life. Be-doo. You'll have to whistle along. Be-doo, 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 because I can't whistle. Always look on the right side of life. Be-doo. Be-doo, be-doo, be-doo. If life seems jolly rotten, then there's something you've forgotten. And that's to laugh and smile and dance and sing. Or when you're feeling in the dumps, don't be silly chumps. Just purse your lips and whistle, that's the thing. And always look on the bright side of life. Come on! Be-doo, be-doo, be-doo. Always look on the right side of life. Be-doo, 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 be-doo. If life seems jolly rotten, then there's something you've forgotten. And that's to laugh and smile and dance and sing. If you're feeling in the dumps, don't be silly chumps. Just purse your lips and whistle, that's the thing. And always... Look, I think I sang that one twice. Look on the bright side of life. Be-doo, 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 be-doo. Always look on the right side of life. Be-doo, 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 be-doo. For life is quite absurd, and death's the final word. Always face the curtain with a bow. Forget about your sin, give the audience a grin. Enjoy it, it's your last chance anyhow. So, always look on the bright side of death. Be-doo, 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 be-doo. Just before you draw your terminal breath. Be-doo, 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 be-doo. Life's a piece of... when you look at it. Life's a laugh and death's a joke, it's true. You'll see it's all a show, leave 'em laughing as you go. Just remember that the last laugh is on you. Ooh. And always look on the bright side of life. Be-doo, 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 be-doo. Always look on the right side of life. Come on, cheer up, it's not that bad, you know. Always look on the bright side of life. I mean, what have you got to lose, you know? You come from nothing, you're going back to nothing. What have you lost? Nothing. Always look on the right side of life. Be-doo, be-doo. Side of life. Be-doo, be-doo. Side of life. Yeah. Sorry, that was quite a deviation from the modding. That song was Always Look on the Bright Side of Life from Monty Python, The Life of Brian. Originally performed, I believe, by, was it Eric Idle? Well, he wrote it. Did he originally sing it as well? I think he sang it as well. Anyway, there we go. So we've now, while I was doing that, I managed to set up the is current objective art, which I believe is the crafting oven marker, but I am just going to look it up. Creation kit Skyrim crafting oven marker. Because I don't like the way they've said marker there. That almost implies it might be something else. I know what I'll do. I know what I will do. What I will do is I will open Hearthfire in the creation kit and see what I can find. I'm going to have a look-see with me eyes. With me apple pies. That's probably not what they say. I'm going to have a look and we're going to see. Going to see what they do. Suddenly, I'm from the East End now. From London. London town. Good old London town. I can't do the accent. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm trying. But I can't really do it. Okay, so furniture. Oven. Crafting oven marker. That's what they call it. Why do they call it crafting oven marker? I don't know. But they do. So that's fine. That should work fine. If we do that, we do that, we do that, then we're laughing. Righty-o. Righty-tighty. Let's fighty, righty. Words. 'Tis but a flesh wound. What have we done today, Joseph? What have we done? What have you done today to make us feel proud? What haven't we done? We've done very little, really. I've dithered and faffed and record and set up maybe like 5 lines. But, you know, working on it. Quick question, do you think the vanilla bard system will affect the custom framework in your video? I want to make a custom singing of the Skyrim songs. I'm not sure what script to do. Don't use the vanilla system. If you start trying to add your bard's version to the vanilla bard songs, you're going to have conflicts. What you would want to do is create your own scene. And then what I would do, this is what I'm planning on doing for Lucien when he records his dialogue, is I'm planning on just doing the lyrics first round, doing a take with the audio as a separate track. So the original take is just the lyrics. And you paste the lyrics in here with the original track and you generate the lip files. Then delete that WAV but keep the lip, so the lip sync is still the normal files and the normal words on their own. And then instead replace the WAV with the same track but now with the guitar audio added in as well at the same time. And then play the animation here on Idle Animation Speaker. There'll be one for Idle. It'll be here somewhere. There'll be something for Idle Musician, Idle Playing Lute. Idle Flute Start. There's flute there. Idle Lute Start here. There's an animation to make him start playing the lute. So if you do that with that hack kind of thing that I just described, then that should get you perfectly synced music and vocals. I mean, technically the sound will come out of your character's mouth rather than from the guitar, but no one's going to notice unless they get really, really close. Can we have Lucien sing apart from Always Look on the Bright Side of Life as an Easter egg? Sure, we can do that. But I was just coming up with an alternative line for the oven. I'd like to learn to bake. Mainly as a means to an end, I'll admit. These sweet, delicious, what's in sweet rolls? Cinnamon? Oh, hydrate. Oh, I know what we'll go for. A tasty, delicious, sweet, rolly end. I have a question for you. What would be your plans with Lucien in regards to any other magic mods like Arcanum, New Age of Magic? I would like to do more magic mod interactions, but that's something I'm saving for after I finish doing all the vanilla spells up to master level and the apocalypse spells up to master level. When I've done those, I will then look at doing more spells from other mods, provided that those spells are castable by NPCs in game, which many spells are not. Because many spells are too complicated for vanilla NPCs to be able to, just for the vanilla combat system to be able to use. Have a good time at work, Black Cat. Hope you enjoyed. Okie dokie. What was the thing that you wanted? Always look in the bright side of life. Always look on the bright side of life. Be-dum, 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 be-dum. Who's the whistle there? I can't. Never got the knack. And that one we're going to have at a very low probability again, much like the Hello Ragnar, my old friend. I've come to take your head again. That one we'll also set at a 0.05% probability, so very unlikely that that line will ever play. Aren't master spells unable to be cast by NPCs? Nope. Not if they've got the required spell level. They have to have level 100 in that particular spell, School of Magic. So it's very unlikely an NPC will be powerful enough to cast them. But no, Lucien does have... You can teach Lucien's the master level spells from... I believe they're master level from Arcane Accessories, because I did all of those in one go. And he does cast those. Oh, I don't know why I put a comma in there. Shout out from Nuna to Nuna's cat, who is trying to get to my snack, a bowl of jelly, and eat it even though it's fruit. What are you doing, cat? Eating fruity jelly? That not cat food. Always look on the bright side of life. And actually, I'm going to take that one there. And I'm going to look at the furniture object now. And we have here BYOH. Drafting table. Shout out to Nuna, please pet your cat for us. Does Lucien interact / plan to interact with interesting NPCs? Yes, I would love to do interactions with interesting NPCs at some point in the future, for sure. It's just a very big mod to do interactions with. I'm not sure about the engineering in those diagrams. Hope you've had a professional look them over. Nuna has petted the cat. Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim chiree. A sweep is as lucky can be. Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim cheroo. That luck will rub off when I shake hands with you. Oh, blow me a kiss. And that's lucky too. What do you build at the carpenter's workbench? Because the drafting table is where you design stuff. The carpenter's workbench, that's where you make things like doors, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I'm with it. I always, when I was younger, I always thought carpenters made carpets. Apparently not. No. Turns out they don't. Who knew? Not me. Anyway. Maybe make a nice chair or something. There we go, just prattle. I took a woodwork module at university. Shortly afterwards, a surgeon had to pull 2 nails out my hand. These facts may or may not be related. Now you're wondering, 2, why 2? And here we have the Sokka from Avatar The Last Airbender. Which is that he tried to get 1 nail out with another nail. Exactly, Moon Queen Jess gets it. Because, as I recall, Sokka did that with fish hooks, didn't he? But that's a very meta reference because the reference isn't even there. You just have to conclude that's a reference on your own. You have to think, why are there 2 nails? That's why. I'm telling you guys now. You guys know. That's a secret for you. Exactly. That was fish hooks. So I'm not doing exactly the same thing. I'm doing a slightly different thing with that. But you get the point, right? Are there surgeons in the Elder Scrolls universe? I hope so. What, can you think of a better word? I felt like surgeon was more lore-friendly than doctor. I don't know. What do you think? Let's find out. Let's have a look. Well, I guess healer works. No, they have surgeons. Yep, they have surgeons. It's a thing. Excuse me, Tiny Lucien. Hydrate. Running out of water. Right. I don't know. Then again, if it's making all of you guys think, oh, that's not lore friendly, then maybe we'll change it. Let's go with healer. Because even though it is okay in the lore, people might not know that and they might assume they've broken lore. So we'll go with healer. Hammer, nail, nail, hammer. Whack. Easy. What could possibly go wrong? Done. I will grab some more water. Larrington! Right. There we go. That's some lines about carpentry. I think there's probably a point, you know, we've already put several external references, musical references into it. And I think there comes a point when there are possibly too many, you know, so I'm reluctant to add too many in. You know, I don't want him to become a meme follower necessarily. So I'm not sure. I think maybe it might be worth drawing a line under it there rather than putting in too many more songs because you don't want to get carried away with it. How goes the line creation? The line creation goes well, thank you. We've just been talking about Lucien's woodwork module at university. I'd like to do some more furniture interactions though. Alchemy now, let's do. Alchemy. Crafting alchemy workbench. I've got some great ideas for potions you could make. Want to hear? Of course you do. Idea 1. Potion that gives you an extra arm. Handy, right? Handy. That one just came to me, spur of the moment. And I'm going to save there. And I'm going to make a little... the most pointless quest I've made yet. But this is just to keep track of J.R. Lucien potion ideas. We're going to give this several different stages. Well, actually, we're just going to give it 0 and 10 to start with. So he'll always say that line first. And I'll increase the probability to like 50, so it's more likely to play. And then we're going to do get stage J.R. Lucien potion ideas is less than 10. And we're going to go set state. Okay, we're going to go compile blank first so that we can create a property. And then we can go to properties, add property, type quest, J.R. Lucien potion ideas. And then we can go J.R. Lucien potion ideas dot set stage 10. There we go. So now we can create more of these babies that will play after that one plays and only after that one plays. Oh, but I've just duplicated the script. Oh, that was silly. Why did I do that? Foolish Joseph, you know nothing. You know nothing, Jon Snow. Tiny Lucien, stop grabbing the mouse. I'm trying to do the clicking. Okay, so now we're doing greater than or equal to 10. And we're going to reduce the probability now. Okay. Here's another idea. What script should I put in the end for my Bard song script? Do you think the Creation Kit Wiki has it, or would that be too vanilla? I'm not quite sure what you're talking about in terms of scripts. A potion that makes cheese. No, actually, that's it. It makes cheese. Yes? Yes. Let's do that. Like what you put in the papyrus fragment. So there's no script for play song or anything like that, Moon Queen Jess. You'd have to put it in a scene, and you'd have to look up how you implement scenes on the Creation Kit Wiki. There are tutorials for how you set up a scene, and this is going to be a one-actor scene that is just your follower as the only actor. So, you'd want to do that. Ah, an extra S on idea, is that? Ah, yes. Thank you. Good spot, Stitcher. Oh, I think that's duplicated the script again. Why is it? Oh, no, it hasn't. That's okay. How about this one? A potion. Yeah, we need to try and think of more puns, actually, for these. I think puns would be good. Potion that turns you into a happy cat. We could call it Feline Good. Thanks for the bits, Vickle. Oh, I love that, Bard. But I'd have to detect if he said all of them already. But I'm gonna steal that anyway. We don't have to do it. It doesn't matter whether he's already said 10. Can I steal your joke, Bard? I love it. Can I? Can I pinch that? Awesome. How about a potion that makes you laugh at people's jokes? Potion that makes you laugh at people's jokes. Hang on. How do I phrase this for absolute maximum comedy? Because you want to minimize word repetition. Okay, let's change it. That makes you appreciate people's jokes. I've tried to make you laugh with 10 of these so far, but no pun intended. I don't like the repetition of the word 10. Is there any way we can get around that? See, almost a dozen doesn't quite work. You've got to, yeah, and there's no synonym for 10. If it were 12, you could use dozen. But there's no word that means 10, is there? Ah, it's fine. No, you've got to say, otherwise if the person doesn't know the word 10 is coming, the joke doesn't make sense. You know, if you just said, I've tried to make you laugh with a bunch of these so far, but no pun intended, you'll just hear intended. You'll hear it what you expect. If you've gotta be thinking of the word 10 in order to identify that that's a pun. So no, I think that's the best we can leave it. Best that we can get with it. I'm sure it'll get giggles out of people. Check. Right. I once knew an alchemist who could levitate but it wore off a while. He really hit rock bottom then. I like that one. I like that gag. That's funny. I can't use the lukewarm one, I'm afraid. Macon fell asleep to Joseph talking. I am that forgettable. I lull you into a sleep. Soothing, okay. A comforting presence, thank you. Trying to think of another pun off the top of my head. I once tried to make a potion to make me tiny, but it went wrong and turned me into a giant. That was a big mistake. Do you think a potion of fire breathing would be spicy? I get what you're going for there. It's not quite a pun. It almost works. My streams are the highlight of your day. Oh, that's nice. See you, Bobzilla. I'm afraid I can't detect what item you're enchanting. I don't have the ability to do that, just that you're enchanting. Oh, speaking of that, though. For enchanting. Gosh. You're enchanting. No, I mean, that's literally what you're doing. Not that you're not enchanting, but I mean, or rather I meant to say, never mind. That is. And that one is going to be crafting enchanting workbench equals 1. Or alternatively, Crafting workbench. Tabletop. How do I neither give the wrong idea nor give offense? Yes, this is a recurring problem for Lucien. They get random percent for that one. We want to be right down at 1, I think. I once had the notion to make a potion in the ocean. Gosh, what a commotion. There was an explosion. And gosh, what a commotion. Thanks so much for the sub, Armator. You are very kind. Explosion doesn't really rhyme with commotion, but it's near enough. I'm sure I can wrangle it when I'm voicing it. That headcanon works if you want it to, check. I'm going to reduce all these random percents, though, because I think they need to be lower. Because you don't want him to get annoying with these, particularly when there are so many options. Man, I'm trying to think of any puns. My brain is just like, no, I definitely need a nap after the stream. Yeah, I think we possibly exhausted the potion puns for the moment. Do let me know if you think of any more, though. How about... you enchant a ring to turn you invisible. Enchant a ring to make you live forever and, oh, I don't know, turn you invisible. Now, wouldn't that be precious? That'll make Bobzilla happy. And our Lucien already uses chili. Oh, he already uses a joke similar to that about frost atronachs. I've just thought of another pun. Not about potions. This one would be for what do you call it? A grindstone. Crafting blacksmith sharpening wheel equals 1. I always wondered if you could sharpen your nails on one of those, but then I'm not one to point fingers. How about a potion to make Clive talk? He's feeling a little hoarse. Maybe. Maybe. But Clive already talks to Lucien, that's the thing. Nah, Lucien's already done the shocking joke before. You can't keep making that one over and over again. Yeah, that's an idea. Yeah, we can do it that way then. Could you make a potion to soothe Clive's throat? I like that one better. That's a good reworking of it, Stitcher. That's nice. Could you make a potion to soothe Clive's throat? Good teamwork, people. He's feeling a little hoarse. Ah, not a little hoarse. He's feeling a little hoarse. And of course, for that one there, we need to make sure that Clive is active. So for that one, we're going to need JR Lucien Potion Ideas is active. They're using Alchemy Bench. You get random percent as 1. But also, we want get global value. JR Lucien Clive Horse. JR Lucien Horse. Is it JR Lucien Horse follow? That's if the horse will follow you, but we don't necessarily just want that. We also want if the horse is summonable. And how do I control that? There's a flag for it. Let's have a look. In fact, I'm pretty sure. I could have sworn. JR Lucien ride horse. That's it. Horse follow equals 1, or JR Lucien ride horse equals 1. See, Clive shouldn't show up in the soul can. He's specifically conditioned to not do that, and he still does sometimes, and it baffles me. I don't know why. There we go, so that'll do the job. If ride horse is 1 or follow, horse follow equals 1. And both of those will only be true once you've already got Clive. So, good, good. Yeah, I think Stitch has nailed it. Clive cannot be controlled. It's true, he can't. He does what he wants. Right, we need more enchanting comments. I know what we can have. Enchantment. Enchantment? Enchantment. Reduce percentage on that. Thanks so much for the bits, Vickle. Yes, it is Sandal. We love him. He's our boy. No, that joke would only work, Morgan, if it would only play after he'd recently said the enchantment thing, and that's a level of complexity that's too great, I'm afraid. Yes, I'm a big Frank Sinatra fan. Have you not heard me sing it on stream before? I swear I sing it all the time. I don't know that one though, I'm afraid. Sorry, Armator. I say big Frank Sinatra fan. I'm a big Frank Sinatra fan of the Sinatra songs that I know. But I don't necessarily know all of them. And I don't know that one. Sorry. See you, Enderscram. Was lovely chatting to you. Fly me to the moon. Let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, baby, kiss me. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. Oh, in other words, I love you. Yeah. Very abridged version there, because I don't want to do the whole shebang, you know, because it takes ages, but... You are very welcome. Thank you, friends. Glad you like. Oh, thanks for the follow, Lethal1. Oh, thank you so much for the bits, Vickle. Hydrate, yes. You sang that song at your concert. So did I. I sang that song when I was at secondary school. At the end, before we left school, we had a little concert, and I was doing the sound for it. Oh, a gling. Thank you so much, Vickle. You are always so generous. Really appreciate it. That's really kind of you. But yeah, so it was this concert, and I was doing the sound and the lighting for the concert. So I was up at the booth at the back of the theatre. And like everyone else was performing, whatever. But I'd sort of arranged with the compares when it came to my bit. Then I started singing from the booth at the back, and I had like a moonlight thing that I projected onto the stage, and then I was just like singing from the back, singing that song. And then everyone was like, what? Where's the singing come from? And then it turned around, and then it was like me, and I was sitting there, and I was singing, and it was really fun. And then I ran down onto the stage and then sang the song, and that's all. There's not really a punchline or anything to the story. It was just a fun moment. I liked doing that. So that's when I sang that. Thank you so much for the bits, Macon! You are all very kind people. Right, we need another enchantment thing. Another enchantment. I wish someone had got it on video. They didn't, but, you know. Enchanty. Bum. Just need to do these reward requests as well. Thank you, A Fistful of Sky. You are very kind. Oh yeah, that's interesting, check. Fun how you're fueling your enchantments with the souls of the dead. Not salt, salt. Oh, don't mind me. Just thinking out loud. I mean, I can't have Lucien disagree with you, like make a point about it, you know, because it's such a fundamental part of the game. It's such a core game mechanic. I can't really make that into an issue. But yeah, I think that's fun. Thanks for the suggestion. Check. Maybe one final enchantment line. Oh yeah, interesting thought, Bard. I wonder if the enchantment process is akin... Oh, thanks, World Xanthir. Xanthir? You are very kind. What if that enchantment process... If the enchantment process... was used by the Dwemer in powering their automatons. Or something similar. Was used by the Dwemer power. It would explain the soul gems. The Dragonborn absorbs dragon souls, so you're kind of a soul gem. Yeah, in a weird way. Joseph, will you do the mini mods integration workshop? Oh, you mean will I do a modding workshop where I show you integrations between my mod and other mods? Probably not, because it's a very involved process that isn't particularly entertaining. Doesn't lend itself very well to streams, and I do need to concentrate quite hard to get it right. So it's probably not the most suitable thing to do on stream. And it's also nice to keep this sort of thing as a surprise for you guys, rather than necessarily showing you that sort of stuff in advance. So I probably won't be covering that in these workshops, but I will be doing a tutorial explaining exactly how to do it yourself, if you want that. That will be coming in one of the future tutorial episodes, for sure. Right. I think we'll probably call it a day there, because it is nearly 8 o'clock, and I need to go make my dinner, and I'm getting rather hungry. And I think that's a good end point for us there. So, we're going to do that, I think. So I'll just pop the camera back and begin. Thank you all so much for tuning in. It's been really lovely having you all chatting in the chat, as ever. Always makes it so much more fun. What do I have for dinner? I don't know. I'm going to look in the cupboard/fridge and see what inspiration strikes me. Presumably something with mince, because I know I've got mince. Might make a lasagna or a shepherd's pie. I'll see what tickles my fancy. But yeah, thank you all so much for tuning in. I am back as ever on Saturday for the Superhero Saturday stream. I need to confirm what time that will be though, because it's going to be earlier, because I've got to go to a thing at 8. So I might run it 5 till 7. I'll post in the Discord when I know when I'm going to be doing it. There will be some superheroing on Saturday. And there'll be multiplayer Monday where we'll be playing Fall Guys Season 2. If we don't do it before then, I might do a surprise stream before then. You'll have to see. But yeah, otherwise back every Thursday at the same time. Thank you all so much for watching. And I mentioned earlier in the stream, I have a book, which I'm just going to show you guys again, because I haven't talked about this in a while. I've got a book. It's called Lonely Worlds. It's on Amazon. The link is in the description, underneath the stream. There's a big link to it with a picture of this book. I wrote it, and I would absolutely love it if you could consider ordering it, or at least checking it out, because it's very cheap. You know, I set the price as low as Amazon would let me set it. But like I say, it does all sort of connect into the same canon that Lucien has. It's not Elder Scrolls, obviously, but it's all part of the sort of same shared multiverse I'm trying to build. So it's a book. You could check it out if you like. I would love it if you did. Yeah, and if you do, I really hope you enjoy it. And if you have read it and have enjoyed it, I would love it if you could consider posting me a little review on Amazon. That would be really nice, because that really makes a difference to me and my progress as an author. If you could take a couple of minutes just to put a sentence or two on Amazon about it, I would really appreciate that. If you liked it. If you didn't like it, please don't say anything. No, do, whatever. Yeah, that would be really nice. And that's it from me. So I am off to go and eat food, and I will see y'all next time. Have a splendid rest of your day wherever you are. Lucien love one and all.